Just two of us, yeah. Just the British connection tonight.
Where's
All them
Bill?
them Yanks are all yippee-ki-yaying on the old prairie or something like that. I'm not sure.
I know they can't be relied on. That
No, exactly. I think
Johnny come latelys.
Bill got confused by the time differences or something. I'm not too sure. They put their clocks back already. I know here he is. Another lit squad of their team turning up at the very last.
Here I am.
Hey, there you are. After all the bad things Mark was saying about you, you turned up.
You know, it's funny because what were you saying about me, Mark?
You have to watch the replay.
So you know what happened? I was here an hour ago because we had daylight savings last week.
Yeah.
And nobody told me that, you guys didn't either, which I should have known. I mean, it makes sense. But so I was actually early for that one, but so
you were now early, mate. You get the kudos. You were now early.
Well done. Well, ours this weekend, didn't they? Did we go back this weekend or forward, whatever it is?
When is it? I don't know when it is.
Yeah, we're springing forward soon anyway. Springing forward soon.
Oh, you do too? You guys do have daylight savings?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. All right.
So then you'll have to change it again, Bill.
Oh my God.
Just
so confusing.
Just to keep it interesting for you. Basically, we don't want to bore you,
No. I'm never bored.
Exciting. I've got some comics to show. Have we got anything else we want to talk about?
I haven't gathered any yet, but I'll go grab some in a minute. Let's see what you got.
This is my haul from last week. I've made a video of it already on my YouTube channel, but I thought I'd show these off now. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, not too many more to finish that run off. This one looks beautiful because it's in Mylar.
But I love those 100 pagers. Yeah, those are great. Oh, yeah.
You can see it's all chewed up at the bottom, but when you hold it like that from this distance, it looks like it's in immaculate condition.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to read it and enjoy it. Daredevil.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Yep. Another lovely Daredevil.
What issue is that?
That's 148.
Okay, that's just like 8. Is that 8 away from Miller starting?
I don't know. When
I think it's 156, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah,
come on, Mark knows.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
My brain doesn't work like that. I don't memorize that kind of thing. I just
keep numbers like that for some reason. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
There's an all-star Flash. There's a beautiful adventure comics with Supergirl.
That's nice.
I'm
looking forward to reading this one because I want to know why everyone's got a pair of glasses on the table. What the heck is the story behind everyone having a pair of glasses on the table? There's got to be something.
And they're all different colors, it looks like.
It's got to be somehow intrinsic to the story, isn't it? But right, and everyone's favourite character, the mighty Jimmy Olsen. Superman's pal. Anyone who's like Jimmy Olsen, it's just because they're jealous because they're not Superman's pal like Jimmy is. That's the only possible reason.
Yeah,
I don't believe it. I've just picked that one up as well.
Oh, so, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Exact same one.
And I got Showcase 100 as well. I've no idea if it's got any key to it. But I've got a few Showcase here and there. Who hasn't? But like Showcase 100, I'll pick that one up if I see it going cheap.
I've got that as well. I don't think there's anything particularly special about it. It's 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a Simonson cover?
Stanton.
Oh, it's Joe Staton.
I think.
Yeah.
My eyes ain't what they were.
The current artist for Dick Tracy.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marvel Team Up.
Oh, that's a nice one.
A good one.
This is a cool one. This will make Mark feel happy because it's Supergirl and Zatanna fighting for his affections. If you look at that.
Oh, that's Mark. I didn't realize there was a crossover there.
It's Mark before he had his little hair trimmed. That's Mark.
Yeah. I wish I was as much as that. Yeah.
Actually, you're more Yeti-like, Gray. I'm sorry to say, but
I can quite happily live that Yeti caveman look is what I'm all about. That's fine. What's going to say? So popped in my head. Oh, I can't remember what it was now. Something popped in my head. Oh, Splat Comics. Have you heard of Splat Comics, Mark? They're kind of new online comic shop in the UK. Pretty good. A lot of these I've got from Splat Comics.
No, I have not come across them. I'm going to have to search them out. These look pretty good.
That's a nice one. Yeah. I like that.
Guess how much this one cost me?
How much?
£5.
£1. £1 from Splat Comics.
Yeah, good.
That was £1?
£1. You don't get super
wow
anywhere. This one was £1 as well. It's Fiji, pence copy.
Wow.
Lovely.
I presume those stickers are on the bag.
Yeah, they're on the bag, yeah.
Fiji Super Friends fan.
Fiji and P for pence variant. He puts those on the stickers. So I got a lovely Adam Strange Adventures.
No, I think I'm going to have to look at these up, Gray. These look pretty good prices.
Yeah, biplane versus aliens.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's got some wear, like coloured attacks at top staple. I don't give a toss if it's, you know what I mean? As long as it's looking like that, as long as I can read it, and when it goes back in the bag, it looks nice and beautiful to look at. I'm more than happy to pay like £2 or £3 less than it would cost me normally. Now this one, centrefold is detached, but it's a lovely Lois Lane for a fraction of what I would have paid for it otherwise. So
I'm going to have to go and have a look at this site.
And there's beautiful Lana marrying the grandson of Lois and Superman.
Yeah, I know, that's really weird.
Keep it in the family.
That is weird.
This one,
the Schaffenberger cover, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. This one's Hitchhiker in Space. You've got Hitchhiker sitting on a satellite there. I wonder if Douglas Adams ever read that before at one point, before he got round to writing his book. I don't know. I'm not sure what the year on this one is, but.
Do you know where he got his start? You know, he got his start as a story editor and writer for Doctor Who.
Did he?
Douglas Adams? Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah,
during the Fourth Doctor era, if I'm not mistaken.
So you don't call him the Fourth Doctor; you call him the best Doctor. That's
well, he is. He's everyone's favorite, I think.
Are we talking about Tom Baker?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. I think you like the one before, then. I'm sure you remember you said you were more of John Pertwee, didn't you, Mark? I think I heard you say
I like them both. I like John Pertwee, but
those are my top two.
Yeah.
And then
Tom Baker was totally.
And then my second two are, believe it or not, I like Colin Baker and I like
Davison.
No, I don't want. I'm not crazy about Davison. I like Pertwee.
Right.
I thought Pertwee was really good. But I also, the last the last old Doctor, what's his name? The guy from all the Lord of the Rings movies.
The strange guy.
McCoy.
Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah, I liked him too. But I like his companions a lot. I like Ace. I like Ace a lot.
I was about 15, 16, I think, when Ace was the companion. She kind of like, I quite liked Ace. But the stories at that point had got a bit silly, or more than a bit silly. I think I was at that age, it was like, oh, Doctor Who's stupid now. But when I was a kid, like Tom Baker, I had to watch it every blinking. The only time I missed it was when I went ice skating, and I felt like an ice skate went over my little finger. And I had to go to the hospital, so I missed the 4th episode of the one with all the plant people. And it was like,
Seeds of Doom or Seeds of Death or something like that?
Yeah. Tom Baker was just so. I don't remember any of them now. I remember loving them, but don't ask me to quote a single episode. But I just remember just that child memory of just loving Tom Baker as the best Doctor ever.
And since his era, so a long time.
Have you ever read the Doctor Who Weekly, like Marvel Doctor Who Weekly that came out in the 70s? I
loved it.
I collected them. I still remember them to this day, most of the stories. But unfortunately, I left them in an old house. I must have lost them in an old house when I moved about in 1980. And the comics never came with me, so I don't have them anymore.
Oh.
It was, I think I mentioned it before, there was a trailer for an upcoming Doctor Who like next series or whatever. And literally, there was a character from the Doctor Who Weekly magazine actually in the trailer, and I know exactly what that story is going to be. I saw it because I'm a bit like, I kind of watched Doctor Who because my girlfriend likes the old female Doctor, and I was watching the trailer and I saw that this character called the Meep. And I literally jumped off the sofa. I was like, "Oh, it's the Meep from the Doctor Who Weekly." I was like, "She's like, calm down, calm down, dear. It's only a blinking trailer." But like, it was so like, wow, mind blown kind of thing to see the Meep. But anyway,
that's funny. That's very funny.
That's it. Where it's like anything that harks back to your childhood, that's where you get most excited about. I think anything that triggers a childhood memory.
Yeah. So my doctors were John Pertwee and Tom Baker, you know, because we were better than you.
Oh, you like Pertwee also? I thought Pertwee was great.
Yeah. No, he was great. When he was the one I was hiding behind the sofa for most of the time. You know?
I think I missed Pertwee. I don't remember Pertwee. Like,
no, because you're a bit younger, mate.
Yeah.
I used to go every year, well, every other year. Cause my dad was in the union, the communication workers union, because he's a post office guy, and he used to go every other year. We Bournemouth one year, Blackpool next year for the conferences.
Oh right,
Blackpool had a Doctor Who exhibition. So every other year we went to Blackpool. I'd go to see the Doctor Who exhibition. And I remember one time he picked me up when I was young. He was going to throw me in with the sea monsters. And I'm like, no, don't throw me in with the sea monsters. But the monsters that I always liked the best were the Zygons. I always thought they were like Zygons were massive, but I think they only ever used once. But I just remember them so well. The Zygons. Do you remember the Zygons?
It sounds like
the ones that look like squids, kind of.
I know they got like
they have suckers all over them.
Suckers all over their bodies, like their arms.
Yeah, and they can assume people's shapes. Yeah,
I don't remember what they did. I just remember what they looked like. I can't remember the episode they were in at all.
Yeah, they were assuming like all the heads of states, and then people started finding out. It's kind of like They Live, the Carpenter movie.
Yeah, as a kid, I haven't seen it again since I was a kid, but I always remember the Zygons. I had a Doctor Who Top Trumps card set at one point as well. I actually ended up selling it, like, I don't know, probably about 20 years ago now on eBay. I got good money for it as well, right? It's Doctor Who Top Trump set. I got about 20 quid for it or something.
So, the Zygons are a big fan favorite. I know that for a fact.
I think they came back as well recently, like a couple of years ago. They come back.
Oh, probably. Yeah, they've brought back quite a few.
They've recycled. Yeah. They're good at recycling in Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually.
They've only got 60 years of episodes, so... In fact, I've got Pluto on right now next to me, the television network here, and they're showing the first Daleks serial right now. So I have it in the background, believe it or not.
Another thing from the Doctor Who Weekly was the Absalom Dalek Killer. I don't know if you ever saw that at all.
I remember that. He had
a chainsaw. He was like a chainsaw sword, and he hated Daleks, and he was so cool. And I can't remember what classic. It was Steve Dillon, I think. Steve Dillon art, really early on.
Oh man, love Steve Dillon art.
Some artwork as well. And
somewhere around here, I have this book, and I don't know if you guys remember. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Frank Bellamy's work.
Yeah.
So somewhere around here, I have a Dan Dare book, and it showed all the things they did in his studio to make things look realistic, and all the people that had different roles that inked or lettered or whatever, they would be models for different characters. Very interesting stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, he did some Doctor Who. He did a lot of the TV comics that came out of the late 60s that looked so doggone beautiful. But, his Dan Dare stuff really will always stick out to me because characters are so clear. They're so
very clean,
very well drawn, but they had character. They weren't like one-dimensional. It was an interesting strip, I thought, and which I didn't come into it until I'm sure well after he had probably died. But I really liked the stuff a lot. But I really, as a kid, I remember the TV stuff when my friends would come over here from England or whatever, and I'd see them, and I remember how beautiful his artwork was. But that guy, he was fantastic. But he had a whole studio behind him too. So, I mean, it's not like he was doing it all by himself.
No.
Yeah. You bought anything new recently, Bill? Any new comics or anything?
Well, I'm going to have to go find some stuff, but I went to a show this weekend, and it's a friend of mine's show that runs kind of quarterly, and another friend of mine called it the Scab Show because it was a show for all the people that aren't able to get into the other shows because the backlog is so much. Everyone wants to get into the show. So I went, and for the first time ever, I didn't buy one damn thing. I embarrassed. But Mark, I sent you a message, and I didn't hear back from you. But I don't know if you knew, but the Golden Record reprints from the '60s are worth thousands now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
When the hell did that happen?
It happened. I think it happened about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I saw your comments on that. Yeah, they are. They're worth a large amount. Yeah, these reprints. Some of the reprints now. This is why the Alan Class stuff is getting expensive.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
They are early reprints. So
right.
They were reprinted 2 or 3 years after 3 or 4 years after the originals, like those record reprints. So you can't afford the original, but you can afford the next best thing is to get
right
out a couple of years later. That's why they've gone up. Yeah, they're expensive.
I paid like $10. Like it was the early '70s when I was first starting collecting. $10 for the Fantastic Four #1.
I hope you got it.
Yeah, but I took it back because I decided it was too expensive for me. Now it's like I'm kicking myself, 50 years
that
later.
Was not a good move, Bill.
Not my
we get time machines to go back to our young selves and tell us what to like. Make sure you get 10 of these. This comes out, buy 10 of them, yeah? Don't care where you get them.
The time machine to go back and go, I'll have 15 of those amazing Fantasy 15s. Thank you very much.
And by the time you're 30, we'll never have to work again. So you make sure you buy them.
Well, there's several television appearances of Amazing Fantasy 15 for some reason. Like it's on the rack in the background and like a Twilight Zone episode and stuff like that. And I'm always looking and I'm like, oh my, and I think that was also the same month as the first Thor. And so you see both of those like side by side in the scene. And it's like, who knew,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that a 12-cent comic would be worth, more than a house.
Yeah.
Especially in the Amazing Fantasy 15 category.
Yeah.
But my friend bought it was a slab 3 quality, and he bought a bunch of other comics, and he got them all for $1,200. He said, "Oh, this is a steal." And I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Yeah, these go for like $3,000 or $5,000 in good shape." And I'm like, "You have got to be kidding me." And he goes, No, they do.
Yeah.
So did they release them in the UK? Do you know?
No, I don't think they did. Those were never over here. I don't think they made it here. I've never seen one of those in the UK. So
The record
ones. I don't think we got those at all. So if there were any here in the UK, it's from somebody who's bought them in the States, I think.
So they were released at the same time as the Marvel the Marvel superheroes, the 5 block, and they wanted to cash in on that. And at the same time, just a few months later, the Fantastic Four came out and Spider-Man came out on ABC.
Yeah.
So hey guys. And
Wormy, let us know.
And so it's funny. That's right at the beginning of Marvel licensing their stuff out to Topps, trading cards. They also had those gliders that came out. Have you ever seen those, Mark?
No.
Oh yeah, they're like on foam, but
Yeah.
they had the gliders, and they had like I want to say 12 or 16 different Marvel characters. The Thing was one of them, which is funny. I used to own a Submariner. There were, I mean, there's Angel, there was Human Torch, there are all these, and they were 10 cents at the time. Now they're worth hundreds, of course.
Yeah, of course, because how many are left? You know,
Right.
I mean,
right. But this was the earliest of the Marvel licensing.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you didn't even see Marvel shirts probably till the mid 70s.
No.
Unless it came from Marvel.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just interesting. And now you can't go anywhere without seeing a Spider-Man shirt, or I see a lot more Spider-Man stuff these days than I think we've talked about this than I do like Batman or Superman. I mean, I see a lot more Marvel shirts, it seems like.
Yeah, it's because of the success of the movies.
It is, without a doubt.
Spider-Man.
Bright day, darkest night, no evil shall ascend my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, the Green Lantern's light. There you go, it's DC shirt for you.
Thank you, Hal Jerkin. No, I'm kidding. That's pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy you did that.
Yeah.
But I love that, actually.
DC's best.
You're just restoring the balance a bit between.
Mark, you fancy sharing them Daredevil comics again? You got a great Daredevil lot of comics.
I did get some fantastic Daredevils.
I didn't catch how much you paid for them. Did you say how much you paid for them on the video?
I didn't say. I've stopped saying how much I paid for stuff because people said I was gloating, and also because I'm now selling as well. I don't like to say how much I pay because otherwise,
it's only paid 10 quints or whatever.
Exactly,
I don't know
exactly. But I paid about for those ones. I paid about 10 quid each for them. But,
wow.
They were. I don't know if you've seen it, Bill, on my YouTube channel, but so I paid about 300 for those. There's about 900 quid's worth of comics there. So I got them.
What were the number? I mean, what I didn't see them.
So from 11. So the earliest one was 11. Yeah, up to about 60. There's about 30 or 40 of them.
So 11's still in the wood run, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so and they're in really good nick. These are sort of 6.0, 7.0 type condition, and
wow, that's great.
Yeah. So what happened, Bill? As I went, because I sort of look at there's the UK auction houses, right? But they very rarely do comics. They're selling all sorts of stuff. But I sort of have a look every so often. There's a couple of sites where you can go and view all the auctions that are occurring at all the regional auction houses in the UK.
Oh, wow.
And I search for comics. And occasionally there's some which are well known for doing comic auctions, right? And they do a big comic auction and everybody watches them. You don't get that big a bargain. What you need to watch for is some small regional auction house who's got about 4 lots of comics on sale on a Monday afternoon in wet February, right? So what happened? I was last week, Monday, I think it was. I was looking around and saw this auction on, and he got about 20 or 30 comic lots, which is quite good. Wow. And I looked at them, and they just showed one picture. So this is one picture of each lot, and there looked to be some really interesting stuff there. So and then I looked at where it was, and it's only about an hour and a half's drive from me. So I thought, and they have viewing days where you can go and view them. Yeah. So the day before the auction, I thought, it's only an hour and a half away. I'll drive over and have a look. So I arrived at this place. It's like this sort of English seaside resort on the main high street. So it looks like a charity shop. So I go in there, and I have to go around the back of the shop. And he's got this back storeroom, which is piled with boxes. And I said to the guy, I'm here to look at some of the lots. And he said, have you booked? I said, no. He said, bugger off then. I said, I said, I've just driven 1.5 miles. He said, well, what do you want to look at? I said, I'd quite like to look at the comics. Why? I said, because
you're fighting the shit.
I said, because I'd like to look at the condition of them. He said, well, nobody else has been to look at comics for 3 years. I said, well, I'm here. He said, all right, have a sit down. Do you want a cup of tea? I said, yeah. I sat down.
After that, I need a beer, man.
He was one of these really bluff, sort of, dry sense of humor guys. And he said, right, what do you want to see? I said, I bet you're going to pick a box which is right at the bottom of the stack. I said, what number's right at the bottom of the stack? He said, 368. He said, that's the one I want to see. So he moved all these. Anyway, so I had a look at a load of them, and they were all from a single guy, right? There was one. It was a collector. He said this guy arrived. It was from Kent. I said, what the hell's he doing in Felixstowe from Kent? And he said, well, he'd searched me out because he reckoned I was one of the best sellers of comics. And how he'd work that out, I don't know. So he gave me all his collection to sell, right? And these things, they'd all obviously been collected about 25, 30 years ago, and they'd done nothing with them since. Let me show you the type. So I've got a few here that I haven't yet rebagged and boarded. So they were all in poly bags. So here's a few. They were all in poly bags.
Oh my gosh.
Like that. And they were all stuck together.
Of course.
Right? The sellotape degrades and goes sticky. The bags all go yellow and crinkly. These actually some of the better looking ones.
Oh my god!
And I had to sort of peel them apart. They were going like this, like this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so there were 2 or 3 lots that I looked at. I'd seen the picture and they looked really good. But when I actually looked at them, the condition of the comics was all quite poor. So I thought I'm not going to bid on those. But the people were bidding on them on the internet without having seen them. But I then found this lot of Daredevil, which were fun. The bags were awful. They're all crinkled up and stuck together. And
but the books were okay.
The books were fine, but the photos made, because of the condition of the bags,
made them look brown and
yeah. So everybody was bidding on the internet. Wasn't bidding on them because they couldn't see. But I'd been to look at them, and I was going, "Oh my god, these are really, really good, high grade Daredevils." So I got that lot, and then there was the type of one I really like is when there was a box right at the end, and it just said "mixed box of comics" and had one photograph right of the top of this box, which showed nothing, right. And I sort of said, can I look at this one? Again, it was at the bottom of the stack. So grumble.
You were his favorite person.
He got it out for me. And it was great. It was it was fantastic. It got all sorts of strange stuff in it.
Stuff we've never seen before in that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, really. Sexton Blake library books from 1920s. I got these fantastic Huckleberry Hound and Friends magazines from the 1960s. You'd love them, Bill.
Oh, I know I would. I'm a huge Hanna-Barbera
And it's got
fan.
the Space Ghost, Huckleberry Hound.
You're selling to Bill. Selling to Bill.
They're fantastic. And as soon as I saw them, actually, Bill, I thought I need to show these to Bill because
I will buy them. I'll bring them.
I'll bring them.
Now I'm a customer. Didn't take long.
Do you watch
It's in really good condition as well from 1967, and it's like the Jetsons, Space Ghost, Snagglepuss.
So I got to tell you this. I got to see all my old chums that we collect and stuff.
Yeah.
So I took the book you gave me for bragging rights, and I took it to my friends.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh my god!" I go, "Nope." I go, "It's a gift. I'm keeping it forever. It's great." And they're all like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" And one guy goes, "Oh yeah, I'm on eBay UK and." He goes, they go for a lot better price on there than they do in the U.S. I go, that's the reason I got one for that. And it was funny, but everybody was just like oohing and eyeing over it. And it's like, It's because we never see, and that's why I was telling my friends, I go, if I get back into doing shows, I'm going to start trying to get more British comics and more stuff that no one had, because everybody has the same crap. And they have, I mean, variant covers like we've been talking about lately, they're driving the industry. I understand and appreciate that. My friends that have subscription services, they've had a boon market since that occurred because of that. And but I have friends right now, like my friend John Jennings. He I don't know if you guys have heard of, hey, how's it going? Pip pip cheerio. Hey, right back at you. And my friend John Jennings is doing Ghostlight, which is a new Marvel variant on Silver Surfer, and he's black, and it's doing very well, but you can't find it in any stores. So the only people that are getting this kind of stuff and the variants, it seems, are people that are going on and buying it months before on subscription services.
Yeah.
And it's funny, there's one of the people I follow in Australia. They get all their variants from the UK.
Yeah.
You know, Captain Sorrow, who's like Simple Simon's girlfriend, she always says she buys them from the UK, from the shop in Croydon that I go to, like to get my comics from now and again.
Place in Space, they're really good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because what happens is that they order them. I actually get quite a lot of variants from I'm on US whatnot, and I get them from the US place, bring it through Stackery into the UK, and I can get them much cheaper in the US, bring them into the UK and sell them. But Place in Space get them really cheap. They're very good. But so I agree with you. But so I would love to be able to export a lot of my stuff, you know, UK price variants, those UK annuals, and do a whatnot show in the States with all the UK stuff, because it's stuff you can't get over there.
No, I know, and that's why we need to talk and brainstorm, because I think that's something. Because I've
tried to do it on my UK whatnot, trying to trap the US, but it doesn't work. You US guys are too insular. You know, if it's not in the, if it's not in the US, not interested.
Yeah.
But, you know, those annuals, for instance, that annual I sent you, that sells $180, $200 in the States. Costs me a tenner. You know, now that is a particularly good one. The one you've got, I've not.
Oh, it's gorgeous, and everybody was like shocked at what good shape it was in. And I said, "And look, it's got its price down there." And they go, "Oh, they do that over there?" I was like, suddenly I'm an expert, you know, and I'm not. But you know, you have educated.
That one you've got is in. That is a very, very high grade copy.
But I was so proud because it's funny because everyone was going, "Hey Bill, show so and so. Hey Bill, show so and so."
Hey Steve.
And hey buddy, how's it going, man?
Keeps winning free comics from places.
Headbanging Zulu in the UK. but no.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Have you got any Vampirella comics available, Mark? Headbanging Zulus buying.
Oh, I've got loads of Vampirella. Problem is, I collect Vampirella.
Yeah.
So, they're not really for sale.
You bought all mine off me, I remember now.
I've got a Vampirella 2.
Okay.
From the original Warren.
Yeah, I've got number 1.
Oh yeah, you have. Yeah, that's true.
She's my birthday sister.
So, do you know who helped design her costume? I just found this out recently.
Was it the makers of Tooth Floss?
It's Trina Robbins.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
She's an American cartoonist.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's fantastic, and she used to model for a lot of the artists in the mid '60s.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Now you know.
Oh well. I thought my silly answer was better about the makers of Tooth Floss, but there you go. What can I say? Because that's how big the costume is. It's like
which he's asking me which ones. I've got some Warren stuff. I've also got the Harris stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got a couple more on the way, Steve, I picked up with you in mind. So once they come, I'll send you pictures. Bill's disappeared.
I'm coming back.
He's coming back. I've got some comics. I've got some.
I do this on my phone. If I have to read or answer a text, I have to go off for a second. Sorry.
Okay, so I've got some comics to show. These are from this auction. This.
Great. Let's see them.
Felix Stowe. These are just sort of. These were just in the lots. So first of all, giant-sized chillers.
Oh my God, that's a beaut.
Is that from the box that was right at the bottom, the one with all the odds and sods?
This was in one of the lot. It wasn't in that random box. I did.
How many lots did you buy in the end?
I bought about 5 lots,
Right.
about £1,000, but I think I've got about £3,000 value. So this, for instance, cost me about a £5. But this is the first appearance and origin of Lilith, and I'm flogging that for 60. So yeah, you know, really nice and pretty good.
Is Lilith also Satana?
No, nope.
They're two separate characters.
Separate. Lilith is the daughter of Dracula. Zatanna is the daughter of Zatara. Is that right, Gray?
No. Satana is the daughter of Satan, isn't it? She's the brother.
Satana. Yeah, she's the sister of son of Satan. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. I'm sorry, I stand corrected.
Okay, and I've got some Marvel horror, Crypt of Shadows, really nice covers.
Nice.
Don't
bury me deep.
Yeah,
that's basically a lot of that. It are Atlas reprints of
they are
horror
reprints.
Comics. Yeah,
you're
from the
absolutely
50s.
Right. They are.
Yeah, I like the reprint ones though. I
you have a lot of Joe Manili in there.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's
I
great.
like that.
You're looking through the eyes of the skull.
Inside of a skull. That's clever. I like that.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's a great cover, isn't it?
Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, that's.
How many times have you seen a skull in the background and like images in front of you?
I don't even remember that cover.
I've never seen that before. I think that's a great cover.
That is cool.
Wow.
Crypt of Shadows 13. We've got a nice zombie cover. But as you say,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But they can't call him a zombie.
Is that Simon Garth, the zombie?
No, Simon couldn't appear in 4-color comics till maybe 20 years after this.
Okay.
I think he first appeared in like Menace #3 or something like that, wasn't it? Was that when he first appeared? Do you remember?
No, Simon Garth, if I'm not mistaken, Simon Garth appeared pre-code in Atlas Comics.
Yeah, I think it was called Menace, the comic he was first
This is actually the last in the series. So Crypt of Shadows only ran till issue 21. So this is the
oh wow,
the last one in the series. So this guy's saying premonitions of impending doom lured me to this cliff, and now the death I foresaw will be mine.
that's a bit of a random thing to say whilst going off a cliff.
Yeah, exactly. You'd think you'd be going,
and yet he has time for a soliloquy.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you know. He's been reading his Shakespeare, Bill.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some war comics. I don't collect war comics, but
those are great, and those are 12 centers. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Captain
Savage. Baron Strucker.
Baron Strucker. This is
He's made several appearances in Marvel, the MCU.
I thought it was Von Strucker. Didn't he used to be called Von Strucker?
Baron Von Strucker. Yeah, I think he was a Von.
It is Von Strucker, and
And this is actually the origin of Hydra in here, believe it or not.
Oh, cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then this one, nice cover again. Captain Savage and his Leatherneck Raiders.
That's Von
Strucker again, isn't it? That's Von Strucker again, isn't it?
Yeah.
But didn't Von Strucker come from Nick Fury?
Yeah,
I think so.
There's something called a Satan's Claw or something like that. It could melt people or something like that. I'm sure there's some kind of hand device that he could disintegrate.
Who drew that cover? That looks like Trimpy.
I don't know who did the cover. Don't know. Pass. I mean, it's it's in low grade, but it's quite a nice.
Hey man, it doesn't look bad to me.
It's the classic evil Nazi look. He's got the fence.
Right, he's got the monocle. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the monocle.
Colonel Klink was Jewish in real life, by the way. I'm going to say that about Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah, we never saw that.
That freaks people out when I say that.
We never got that
true.
program over here, but we only know it from like seeing it referenced in various comic books. I think.
Right. Oh, see now that's beautiful.
Combat Kelly and the Deadly Dozen.
Is that Hitler shooting at him?
I don't think it is. No, he does have a Hitler moustache.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. And then this is actually my favorite of the covers here. This is Combat Kelly. This is in really nice condition. Combat Kelly and his Deadly Dozen. And we've got this woman in the red dress. You would be wearing a red dress in the middle of a combat.
It's a nice blue. That's a very nice blue.
Keep firing, baby, while I look out for you. And they've got people firing down on them for every direction.
Yeah, those are all old interiors, also, aren't they?
I don't know actually, but I haven't looked into them.
Okay, I believe they may be.
You think they're?
I think the Combat Kellys may be.
And this is Combat Kelly number 7. This is a really fun one. So the guys outside are saying, "Hey Kelly, this place is dead. Sister Angelique must have cleared out." And then we can see Sister Angelique being held by the Nazis.
That's a wonderful point of view shot, isn't it?
Yeah,
those covers are great.
Yeah,
similar covers to that.
That's like probably 1972, 73. That's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a great spin of the Losers doing that kind of cover.
Yeah, this is, by the way, this is the war mag for people that don't like war.
Okay.
Yeah. Like. America's Greatest Comic Magazine. Yeah, Fantastic Four.
This is a comment from Bill. He says, "Always nice to see Mark."
War is hell number 2.
You see this comment from Bill, Mark. He says, "Always nice to see Mark on, so free and lively, without the struggle of having to carry Alan all show long."
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Inspired.
Yeah.
So there we go. War is hell number 2. Look at this. And these are not. That's
a Severin cover. That's gorgeous.
You think that's Severin? Yeah,
I think that's John Severin. It looks like it from far away.
Severin. Oh, very good, Bill.
Yeah, thank you.
Well spotted. It does say Severin down at the bottom here.
And Marie Severin was his sister, and she was the colorist at both EC and Marvel.
Very good. Well,
and she drew quite a few of the Hulk issues also. In between Herb Trimpe. And she helped come up with Doc Samson, actually.
And
look at that. Oh, see, those covers are fantastic.
Yeah, I don't collect. These are really cheap as well. Nobody collects war comics.
And those are all 50s reprints as well.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. The War's Hell, for sure are.
Yeah, so there you go. Those were just in the stuff. I mean, they were just,
the only way they could get away with having Helm on a comic book cover.
Very underrated series.
Well, it had some great. If I'm not mistaken, again, you have a lot of Joe Maneely in there. You might even have some early Kubert. I'm not positive. Kubert may have already gone to DC by then, but there was a few of his. There was some of his stuff in the 50s, I believe, from Timely, if I'm not mistaken.
I was saying the other day on a stream that I don't remember seeing Kubert doing any Marvel. It all seems to be DC that I ever see Joe Kubert. Now if I ever see any Marvel comics from him.
Well, now I'm going to have to go look that up. I do know that he and Ditko both studied under Mort Meskin, and they did a lot of comics. They did a lot of assistant work on Golden Boy, which was a comic in the early 50s. And things of that nature. So I know, and if you look at early Kubert, his style looked an awful. He got kind of his own style just a little while after that, and then that's what he took to DC.
He was a great artist, though, Joe.
Yeah, something about his style. I don't think it's the fact that I've seen so many war covers by him, but when I've seen him doing something other than war covers, he just looks kind of wrong. They did a couple of Flash covers, and he makes Flash look old. Something to do with the lines, and it's making it look so more war worn than you normally would do. I think it's just because maybe it's in my head that I just see him doing war covers all the time. I can't picture him.
No, his Flash covers, he would really draw to an extreme for those. And there's one I remember where Flash's feet have been like torn apart almost, and you see this foreshortening with the feet up front. It's like some of his stuff is just amazing, and I'm shocked that he got away with it, because some of it's pretty visually appalling, but it's good stuff. But I like all his work, and I think his superhero stuff was just as good, if not better, than his army stuff. I mean, or on the same level at least.
Yeah, no, it's great. But if you look at the run of them, and then like something, it just stands out so much more amongst the rest of the other ones, like Infantino, whatever, on that Flash run. And suddenly there's a Kubert run, and like literally, it looks like he's aged 50 years overnight. Old thinking Barry Allen, he just looks so much more haggard, like he's seen it all.
I know, but I love those, don't you? I mean, yeah,
it's different. I don't know if it's because of his art style or because of the fact I'm used to him doing more stuff, that somehow he just sort of stands out so much more.
Oh yeah. And I got bored by Infantino, I have to say. No offense to the people out there that love him, but his style really, like, I was kind of sad. He went to Marvel after he got fired by DC.
You're fired.
And when he went to Marvel, he did stuff like Spider Woman and things of that nature.
2 issues of Ghost Rider.
Yeah, those weren't bad. But
the reason I know is because, like, literally, I was sitting on the toilet the other day reading through my Ghost Rider run, and I got to the middle of this comic book, and they had an eBay slip in it. And it wasn't from when I got it. And I was like, what's this eBay slip? And it's from a few years, so whoever I bought it off must have got it. And it's like, I'm looking through the description, signature by Carmen Infantino. And I was like, what? And I had a look. Front cover, Carmen Infantino signed it on the front cover, and it was nice. That he did a Ghost Rider. So I was happy with that.
Yeah, that was the result, right? That's happened to me a couple of times, because they used to sign them inside the front cover because they didn't want to spoil the cover.
On the front. This was actually on the front, but I just didn't notice it. Until I saw the slip inside telling me that it was in there. So yeah, that's my favourite sitting on the toilet story that I've ever had. I've got to say.
Well, yeah, okay. Thanks, Ray, for that.
I didn't have to share that bit with you, but to me, it's an important part of the lore.
I'll be right back.
We didn't ask for your best sitting on a toilet story, but
I had one previous to that, to be honest. But now I do. Now I've got a sitting on the toilet story. Something good happened. I found out I had a signed book. See, Jackson Wykirk always reads his signed comics on the toilet. It's a good idea.
There you go. You're not the only one.
I find more signed ones, but it's not happened so far. But I don't care. I read them everywhere. Bloody, I read them on a train. I read them on the bus. I read them waiting in the big job centre to get seen. I don't care. I read my comics everywhere. That's how you get them read. If you wait until you optimum reading linking time, you won't get them read. So I just read them wherever and whenever. Talking about that Splat Comics shop again, I've got another lot from them because something that might be of interest to you is they do a point scheme. So for every £1 you spend, you get some points back off. And once you get your purchase, if you share them on social media, it gives you £10. It gives you £100 points credit. So I shared them on a Facebook page. I've got £2.50 credit for the my purchase. 100 points, £10 credit for posting it on Buy Comics UK, whatever, on Facebook. So I got £12.50 off. And so there's a section on there for comics under £2. So I went to DC Comics under £2, got my £12.50 off as well, and I got this stack. So this is less than £2 a comic, plus postage was free. Once the £12.50 paid for the postage and a bit more. So I'll show you these ones now, guys. So I've got Ghosts.
Oh well, I want that.
Yeah. Too late, mate. Got another Ghosts.
Oh no, you've raided all the DC horror.
Yeah, no, there's more there. Over £2 though. These are all the under £2 ones that I could get. Another one.
Wow. Are those pence or cents?
I don't know, mate. Let's have a look.
There'll be cents. They're very rarely pence, those ones.
These are all pence.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Wow. 12p, 15p, 15p.
Okay.
This one's Sense Adventure Comics. It's only good. It's got like 3-inch tear cover.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Jim Aparo, man, that guy was great, wasn't he?
For less than £2, I'll happily buy it. Like any kind of like little.
You know, I don't think Jim Aparo ever worked for Marvel. I think he only worked for Charlton and DC.
That's a good pickup.
Yeah,
yep, that's a great one.
That was under £2 as well. So
that's the first appearance of Manhunter.
There are so many Manhunters though. There's been about 5 Manhunters.
Okay.
Like,
Well, that goes back to the original Manhunter that Kirby and Simon created in the 40s, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought that one was the guy who had the dog. Wasn't that not the guy who had a dog? That one. I'm not sure because there was a few different Manhunters. Because when they had the Manhunter, the No Man Escapes the Manhunter, the Millennium series, it told you about all the different Manhunters there'd been. You got the Paul Kirk, you've got the other guy, and they got all the clones.
Right, but I if I'm not mistaken,
this is Mark Shaw, isn't it? The Mark Shaw Manhunter.
Yes, it is, and it's Kirby. That's Kirby who did that.
That's Kirby, yeah.
Mm. But yeah, Manhunter has got some massively long and convoluted and confusing origin. There's been so many of them, and the rest of these are all Detective Comics. I got all these detective like less than £2 each, and like I needed all these for my run as well, so I was well happy with that. So I got, and they were not like for less than £2. I was well surprised to get these for under £2.
Yeah, you've done well. You've hit a little gold mine. I'm going to have to go and look at these when I've finished on this show, Greg.
Yeah, go for it. Splat Comics. Check out the link in my last video, my last haul video. Start earning yourself some points. I'm gonna be linking this to him, see if I can get some more points off for my next purchase as well. To be honest,
well, you've shown them on your Geekly Weekly.
Exactly.
They'll be giving you comics for free soon, mate. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's cool actually. It's been electrocuted. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't got that one.
Yeah, pretty cool cover. I'm not sure this is late 70s, early 80s. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of these I haven't got.
But I never thought I'd get them for under £2 each. Normally, you see these people selling these for like £5 on Facebook.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting one. It's quite busy, maybe, but it's got lots going on.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. Come on, Joey, let's get out of here. The Batman is nowhere around.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite comics of all time. Covers of all Batman covers of all time. Yeah.
Joey's found him.
Yeah. And now
Nocturna.
What's she doing?
She's stabbing him so he falls off the balloon.
Okay.
This is in my hot air balloon.
That's an interesting perspective. I like that.
Future. Antarctic Nightmare.
I mean, less than £2 each. You're not gonna,
Exactly. No complaints at all.
No, those are actually good issues.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That story is great, Gray.
We're a while for I get around to reading it, but I will do soon.
You're not waiting to read Detective Comics until you've got the complete run again, are you?
No, not with Detective. There's ones that I'm not. Yeah, no way I could do that.
Is that something you do that I didn't know about?
Won't read them until he's got the complete run.
Some series full run, so I wait till I got the full run of New Mutants, and then I read it. I've just completely.
I only need 165 more issues to read the Fantastic Four.
Yay. Yeah, no. Ones like that. And some series I'm only trying to get from 100 to the end or something like that. For example, I think my Flash run, I'm trying to get 150 to the end because the ones before that are too expensive. But I read them as they come in. But the Green Lantern run, I was putting aside till I got. But I know I wasn't getting them all, so I gave up and just read them all. Actually, some of the ones
done really well.
Is that a Gene Colan cover? That's what it looks like.
Does look like it, yeah.
Has to be.
I can't see a signature, but Robin's face looks pretty.
And the perspective and everything. Yeah, and the lack of anatomy.
Is that what he does? Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, his stuff works, but if you start trying to go like there's quite a few really great artists who have no. Well, I wouldn't say Rob Liefeld's one of them, but he is one that has no sense of anatomy whatsoever. Well, Colin, if you really look at Colin's stuff, a lot of his foreshortening and stuff doesn't really work. But it works. It works because you don't even notice that it doesn't work, if that makes sense. But his style was fantastic, and I hate to even bring that up but I think that makes him an even more fascinating artist, that he can make something work that really shouldn't, unlike Robbie.
Norin Rad, I can tell you Gray's system. He has a very sophisticated system. I was with him at the last London Comic Mark. He showed me his system. It's called Pieces of Paper. And what he does, he lists the comics that he's looking for, and when he gets them, he crosses them off.
Perfect. It works so well.
I know. It's very, very technically advanced.
It's an elegant system.
I was going to say very Victorian, but okay.
I do also have a blog, Norin. If you check my blog, the link's always down below. If you want to check out my wants list, if you ever feel like sending me like all the comics I need, the wants list is down below. And also on the same blog, I've got links of all the boxes, all my boxes, and what's in the boxes is all up there on the blog as well. Mainly for my own thinking benefit, not really for anybody else's.
Norin, I use Go Collect to log mine.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, no, I don't. Stone tablet. Gray uses tablet, stone tablet. Pretty much, it works. It works for me. It works fine.
Yeah, no, it worked pretty well. It does work for him. I've seen it in action.
Yeah, although I have messed up.
He doesn't run out of battery. He goes when we were at London Comic Mart. He picked up his bits of paper, and walked around the stalls with his lists, and he never ran out of battery.
It's true. I did manage to buy a double though. I don't know how. I must have not crossed it off the previous time. I bought a Dr. Octopus in Web of Spider-Man. I was reading it. I thought, this story seems very familiar. I'm sure I read this recently. So I must have bought one and forgot to cross it off the list. But never mind. That's in my pile to sell now.
Yeah.
These things happen.
They do.
Oh, dear. You got any more auctions coming up? Or are you auctioned out for the moment?
Yeah, no, I had a couple of really good. I did some. I had a couple good yesterday. There was a couple of auctions I bought online. Some absolute crackers. There is. I went in. There's this one in Northumberland somewhere, and there was two lots I was interested in. One lot, it had 9 copies of Dragon's Lair #1. Right.
Okay.
Do you remember the laser Vizio game? Dragon's Lair?
I literally managed to hit a tentacle once, and that was it. It's as far as I ever got. Literally, I put my money in, die. Put my money in, die. Put my money in, die. Once I managed to get one slice in, and that was it. And I died.
Freaking impossible.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the artwork, the cartoon artwork on that was done by a guy called Don Bluth, who did quite a lot of Disney stuff. He did, I can't remember, but he did lots of Disney stuff. Anyway, and he did the cartoon work for the Dragon's Lair thing. Anyway, in 2003, they produced a comic of Dragon's Lair, but it was a sort of independent publisher, low print run. But now there's going to be a Ryan Reynolds live action Dragon's Lair film for Netflix, right? So I'm looking at this, and there's got these 9 copies of this. So I go on to eBay to see what this sells for. It sells for between £40 and £80 a copy, okay? And they've got 9 copies, and I got the entire lot for 14 quid.
Wow.
So so that was one lot. The next lot, it sort of there was one picture, and it just said mixed lot of 1960s and old and stuff.
Yeah.
So I go in, you look at the picture and you go, right, what the hell is here? So the first thing I spot is there's a lot of Dell 10-cent stuff.
What?
Yeah. And so there is I think it's called Tomb of Terror. It was a one-off. It's got.
I remember. That's very hard to find.
It's got an LB Cole cover on it.
Yes.
And I go and check it out. It's worth, it's an LB Cole. It was a one-off from Dell. And it's worth about 60 to 100 quid by itself. So I thought, I'm interested in this lot. So it got this Dell Tomb of Terror one-off. Then there was I think it's called Famous Funnies from 1946.
Wow.
With done by Sheldon Mayer.
Before he made the jump over to, he was between Dell and DC for a while.
Yeah, and he was well, we've got Kyle.
Hey, can we get rid of this guy? I thought this guy wasn't coming on the show this week. What the heck? Oh no, bring him back. Bring him back. Bring him back. Bring him back.
How does my mic sound? How does my mic sound?
Yes,
that's great.
Kyle.
You look great.
Your image quality is improved.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why, but okay.
Because you got the light on probably rather than having it off.
Oh yeah, the door's open. I'm basically outside.
Have you got a new phone?
No, it's not a new phone. I'm just basically outside.
You have your phone though, you're saying, weren't you?
The bottom of my phone busted, and I'm worried it's tinkering with the mic a little bit, and it's been causing reverb. I can't charge my phone with a plug anymore. I had to get a mount plug.
Oh, no, it sounds fine. It sounds like better than normal. You got to stop using the vibrate function in unnecessary ways, mate.
Well, I kept sitting on it while it was up.
Yeah, we know. We don't have to paint us a picture, mate. Don't have to paint us a picture.
I was going to take a flyer today, and you guys were cruising along without me. And then I thought, you talked about Joe Kubert at Marvel, not being at Marvel, and you talked about Vampirella. So I tiptoed upstairs, grabbed a few books, and tiptoed back down. So,
okay. So you got some Joe Kubert at Marvel Comics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mother bleeper.
I do.
We'll go to you. See, he watched us having fun. He couldn't leave us alone. He's like, I've got to get in that action. I've got to come and show some comic books.
My trap worked. So.
I didn't want to come on if my mic was shot. I didn't want to come on, and I actually had to throw a charge into this thing. I didn't think it'd be charged up enough.
It would have been cool if you come on, your mic was broken, and you just had to sit there and not actually say anything. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, you threw on your Mike Nesmith knit cap. I mean, you look dapper today, man.
Abraham Stone, Marvel Comics.
What the hell?
Right.
Joe Kubert.
I love that. I've never seen that before. Who the hell is Abraham Stone?
Is that about World War One?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
What's that scribble right there?
It says Steve Ditko. It says Joe Kubert.
It says Joe Kuberi. Who's Joe Kuberi?
Kubari.
Joe Kubari. He's the guy that did issue 2 of that as well. Oh man, there's another scribble on issue 2 as well.
How did you get them signed? Imagine you bought them signed, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I got them.
What did DC do to piss them off?
So, and I've got another copy of one, but this one's not signed.
It's a great cover though. It's
it's beautiful.
Very good. Very good.
Little Kubert autograph. Then you talked about Vampirella, and I had this one out and about because I've been showing.
If you got Vampirella by Joe Kubert, mate, you win the stream. Oh, the film is there.
How about the movie?
The movie.
When was the movie?
Have you guys seen the book? Vampirella.
96.
Was it porn?
It's Roger Corman.
Oh well, hell!
Yeah,
I did not know.
Yes, Roger Corman. It's porn.
It's softcore.
And then I didn't dig in my magazines or
There's
anything.
a bunch of man-eating plants in it, also, Mark. Feed me.
Here's the Vampirella Zero still in the poly bag.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah,
with a nice little wrap around.
Is that Kaluta?
Casada.
Oh, really?
And then just for fun, there it is again, polybagged, except it's signed by Casada, Palmiotti, and Rogowski.
Wow.
You weirdo. That's amazing.
So there's another autographed one there too. And then speaking of, there's Ed McGuinness autograph and the autograph of the model there.
Oh, cool. I think I've got that comic book actually, but not signed.
See, and I'm gonna put that with that. And then I just grabbed a couple random vampies. I didn't grab my Adam Hughes one because I think I moved it to another box and I didn't want to make a bunch of noise around there. But I got the 92 Adam Hughes vampy. But here's some random vampy.
Nice.
Very good.
Another.
We may have to do another trade, Kyle.
Little virgin cover without a virgin on it.
That's cool.
Her story is so crazy from the planet Dracula, where blood is water, basically. It's just dark.
There's a little Mark Millar.
Is that Chucky at the bottom there? Or...
There'll be some variation thereof. And then
Chucky or something.
Oh,
what the heck?
You're exposing.
For a minute, but it's just.
Oh, no, we're safe. We're safe. We've got no nipples.
Yeah, no nip.
But
a little red bit there, like you when the shading was. You like
I was a bit worried there.
I thought she was showing her raspberry ripples for a second.
Yeah, raspberry.
Dada, Connor, Palmiotti. How about an ash can?
Surprisingly, what
is that Nolan? That's not Nolan, is it? Looks like Kevin Nolan.
No, the name's cut off down there, but I'm pretty sure it's Mark Teixeira.
Okay.
She's a great longevity, really, for a silly character.
There's Retro 1, Retro 2, and I'm pretty sure Retro 3 is behind there.
Didn't her first cover go for like over $2 million, something like that?
What?
That's original Frank. Yeah, that's original Frank Frazetta art.
Yeah.
Vampirella, Painkiller Jane with the foil cover.
About 4 million, didn't it?
Oh, it might have been 4 million. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a ton of money.
Yeah, I knew it went for more than 2 million.
Death of Vampirella, foily cover, and boobies.
Egyptian Queen, or whatever it's called. It was from Creepy 29 or something like that.
Vampirella pinup special. I need to get this one signed since I know so many of these.
Did she make her first appearance in Creepy?
No. I'm talking about the Frank Frazetta art for Creepy.
Oh! I got you.
Adam Hughes.
Her first appearance is Vampirella 1, wasn't it, Mark?
Yeah, Vampirella 1.
Bear, Chris Batista. I'm familiar with him, and
Chris was a friend of mine. I like Chris.
But then, a little pinup special there, a little Adam Hughes pinup special. And look, I got 2 of them.
Mark, was Vampirella's first appearance Vampirella 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Vengeance 1/2.
Harris Comics.
With the wizard thing there, Rudy Nabri. Oh, back to foily goodness.
Very nice vampies there. I like that one. I've got that.
How about Vengeance?
Do you have most of these, Mark?
No, I've got that one.
There's Vengeance 2.
You got this one,
I like that one. That's a nice cover.
No, I haven't got that one. So
that's Buzz. Yeah.
You can bring that to next comic.
I don't think so, mate. That stayed in the box.
Okay.
Safe. Took me a long time to put stuff up for this one.
There's a foily Vengeance 1 of 25. And then look, I got another 1/2.
Wow. Closely, though, she's got such a creepy little face on Vampirella #1. She's like beautiful but creepy at the same time. It's really well done.
I thought you were going to finish the sentence as you've got a creepy little face. I didn't.
Yeah, Carl's got a creepy little face, obviously, but yeah.
Vampia Draculon. Number 1. There's number 5. Beautiful cover.
Yeah, because you always put number 5 together with. Never mind.
Here's the one I totally forgot to send to him, but I got to get this one signed. There's
I like that.
Vampirella Witchblade with my buddy Liam Sharp there. I forgot to have this one signed. And this is the Harris version, and this is the Top Cow version.
Okay.
So, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
There's some random Vampy, the movie, some autographs.
You want to know something weird? The other day, Eric Larson said he never saw a dime from the 2 seasons of Savage Dragon, the animated series.
Why not?
I don't know. And I know my friend Dave Garcia. It doesn't look like he's going to make anything off the PandaCon series. So I'm not sure what these guys are doing. I mean, nothing against these guys, but I think they just want to see it reach a bigger audience, maybe.
So look
oh my gosh. Is that a number 1?
Yeah. Look how creepy her face is on that. She looks so
it's so beautiful.
Beautiful, but creepy at the same time.
Oh, yeah. It looks very bat-like.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that the most valuable comic in your collection, Gray? I think it probably
I don't know if it's gone up in price. I've got the first Moonlight. I think that's probably gone up more in price now.
I think that first Rampage would probably...
This was $300 when I bought it. It's like a 4.5 according to mycomicshop.com. I think that's probably gone up a bit since then.
I think it probably has.
Well, Creepy One is still worth more, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it should be.
This is what I wanted to show. Like, my first experience of Vampirella was long before comic books. I went to a jumble sale when I was in, I don't know, probably in single figures. I don't know when, in the 70s or something. Yeah, remember jumble sales, Mark, back in the day?
Yeah, jumble sales, yeah.
I picked up
car boot sales.
3 Vampirella books.
Oh, by Ron Goulart.
Yeah, soon to be a major film. So when did that film come out, Kyle? So it must have been before the film came out. What year was that?
That movie was 96. Those
96.
Well
wait. Oh, wow. Yeah.
This is before that, I'm sure.
That was in pre-production hell from the 70s on.
It must be, A prisoner on our planet. She lusts for
those are late 70s, early 80s all day long. You look at the edition of that, that's probably 79.
Oh, she looks so
is she doing the famous Spider-Man pose before the Spider?
Yeah, probably. Don't tell Matilda.
Is it Milo Manera doing the artwork there?
Yeah.
I think so, is it? No, I don't think it is.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Well, I don't know if it's Goulart. Maybe that's not. My guess would have been 79, but maybe that's.
No, that's earlier. That's more like.
Let's see.
Early 80s, maybe.
79 would be my guess.
The original copyright on this is 1969.
69?
No, actually, it says first published in Great Britain by Sphere Books Limited, 1977. Then it says copyright 1969, 1970. This is probably the character.
The character copyright.
Character 77. Communications Corporation. So that's the copyright. But this book there must be 1977. I'm guessing.
Yeah, the book's 77.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that's when she was kind of at her peak.
Yeah, your Vampy one is worth about $1,000 there, Gray.
It's gone up a bit.
Really? Oh, well, then it's worth way more than Creepy and Eerie one.
That's appreciated pretty well then. Since it was a couple of years ago, I bought it for $300.
Wow.
Which I bought 2 now.
That's amazing. I don't have any books worth more than $300.
Oh, go away, Kyle.
You're so
wait, no, I don't have any books I've spent more than $160 on. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah, I try not to spend too much on them, but
telling the old lady that Marvel Comics #1 isn't worth anything. Because it has
I don't know if you saw my message
on
whatnot there, Mark, but my Mickey Mouse 4 from February 1934, I shipped off to Montreal, Johnny. So I have no more early Mickey Mouse.
I always tell my missus, if I die and you're selling my comic books, make sure you contact one of my mates to find out how much they're actually worth. Don't just go for some arsehole.
Actually, great. I do need to find So who was it who was giving me? So I was talking to one of my mates in the States. He's got one of Alan's friends. They've got $1 million collections.
Yeah.
And one of the pieces of advice was make sure you've got somebody who your relatives can contact to check out the values. So
I basically said to her, if I go for you, contact Roger. You can trust him. Don't trust Kyle. Don't trust Mark. That's basically what I told her. I said, as long as you don't go to Mark or Kyle, you'll be fine. I said, don't trust them.
I made plans on being
So
dead
do you
now.
need me to send you my phone number, Gray?
I said, that's for Bill. Don't even go there. I said, don't even go there.
Man, come on.
I planned on being dead by now, so I cast a wide net, and my wife knows all kind of phone calls she can make. So
I'll get Gray. Give her my number. I just tell her, that Vampirella's just dreadful. It's with that.
I'd hate to say it, but in my top 5. Probably, in my top 3 connections on who gets first, second, or third dibs on my stuff, Mark's in that.
Oh, that's very good of you. Thank you, mate. You're in mine as well.
And you're both in mine.
As far as, when I die and the wife sells them, Mark's one of the first phone calls. So.
Yeah, well, she should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
I'll probably move out there, Kyle, and set up a US whatnot.
It just should be done. It should be done. Hire my wife. She's a hard worker.
Yeah.
I think that's a price from Northern Red. Is that for the
married a guy with shit for brains, but yeah.
That's gone up a lot then. That Vampirella's gone up a heck of a lot.
That's a really good blue chip investment, Gray.
Yeah.
That's going nowhere. And that's not based on movie speculation or anything. It's just based on
well, it's Frazetta, and until last week I thought Frazetta's last comic book work, but I found out that he quietly did page interior work to 5 and 6 as well.
No, I never knew that.
Yeah, I'm on a cast with one of the guys that's on the ends with the Frazettas, and he's writing a book about it. So I don't know, and I'm becoming a regular cast member starting Saturdays.
A regular what?
I'm going to become a regular cast member with Sanimation on Saturdays.
With what?
Say it with Sanny. I'm going to do my regular Saturday with Sanny. I mean, this week I have to go in and win Cover Slingers, and then once that's done, then I got to go for Sanny. But I'm going to win. I'm going to win Cover Slingers dominantly this week.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. You say that every time.
I am going to. If I don't win dominantly, something's wrong with people. So.
Yeah, right.
Is my mic going out again?
No, we're just mocking you.
Oh well,
yeah.
Go ahead. Mock all you want. Mock all you want. Mock.
Comic quiz kids on Monday, and I'll be doing 4-color panic on Tuesday.
We just fuck off and fuck around. That is.
I'll be on the new Mark and Bill's make fun of Gray and Kyle show on Thursdays.
I do comic journeys, Insomniac Theater late nights on weekends and some weekdays. But that's just a fuck around, and then with Sandy, it's just a fuck around.
Yeah, like ours is for serious purposes.
Nah. Well, I mean, every at least once a month we get.
No offense, but
we get some pretty heady company. We get some pretty heady company at least once a month.
Bill, my favorite show was the one where you appeared with the ash cross on your head.
Oh, thank you.
I really enjoyed that. I was
worried. I was thought it was my hair for half the podcast.
First I thought you hadn't washed it. Then I thought there was some sort of satanic upside down cross.
Yeah.
Oh no! It was just...
Well, they drew a circle, and Bill was just making an asshole of himself.
So yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Thank you so much. That was a really good podcast. I enjoyed that one a lot.
My show I do with the guys out of northwestern Canada and the UK with Jail with Coin World UK, we do a lot of trivia, and I'm just sitting here thinking, Mark, come on, whip out the trivia.
I've got a lot of trivia.
Hit me with any kind of trivia. Hell, I'll go get my Marvel game trivia thing. I'll get my DC game trivia. Somebody hit me with some trivia.
I read my first Betty and Veronica comic the other day, and it said what their surnames were. And I thought that could be a trivia question. Everyone knows Betty and Veronica, but do they know their surnames? Well, I've forgotten their surnames, so I can't use that as a trivia question.
No, you need to know the answer.
If you're not going to ask it, I'm not going to answer it. So,
but if you don't know the answer,
I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Yeah. Now, granted, if we had Scott Harris King on here, he'd snap it right off because he has like all 545 issues of Archie, pretty much, except for the early ones. But yeah. Yeah, it's like Veronica Hart and Betty something. Betty, I should have said Betty first. I wouldn't have forgot it.
Okay, so I know the answer to this.
I thought it wasn't always Betty Cooper.
Betty Cooper,
correct?
Yeah.
And Veronica
Field.
No. Betty Cooper and Veronica
Lodge.
Correct.
Lodge. Veronica Lodge. Yeah, that is. I'm trying to remember who I thought.
I thought you were telling me that her name was different in the beginning. That's why I didn't question your.
I have no idea. I only one Betty and Veronica, and I forgot instantly what it was.
And they first appeared where?
I haven't got a clue.
Pep Comics.
Issue number?
I can't remember. 22?
22.
Wow.
I was quite close with my random guesses.
Over 80 years ago, by the way.
Yeah. 1941.
Archie looks pretty good for 82. Plus 16. So
come on, keep the trivia coming. I need to reactivate my brain. My brain's
so let me ask you this.
Earlier, Mark, about the first appearance of Man-Bull.
What's a good general price? Here's a trivia question. What's a good general price these days for Little Archie #1?
$100.
$22,000.
You're talking a 9.8-ish, aren't you?
Well, I'm talking. No, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm talking an 8+. It's actually, the Little Archie is considered the pinnacle of the storytelling of all the Archie series.
Yeah.
And Bob Bowling. No. Okay, here. Okay, now I'm going to tell you right now, Bob Bowling. He's still alive, by the way, but Bob Bowling did the entire series until just maybe 10 years ago, a little more. And
Norin, that's an insanely layup question there, Norin. They put it on the front of comics now. It's no more.
It's not anymore.
Oh, well, technically, in comics,
it's Wolverine, technically.
No, the first one's Apocalypse.
Oh, yeah, Apocalypse. That's right.
Because he goes back in age. But if you're looking at Marvel's first mutant, that's Namor. But if he's looking for the one that goes back furthest in time, technically you can go even further than that, because supposedly
the Green Door, the Hulk,
the vampire chick, whichever vampire chick, Selena, Selene, yeah. They go Selene, they go Apocalypse. They keep retroactively pushing that shit back. So yeah. I mean, they can't make up their minds which one they want to go back further with.
I'm saying it's Vandal Savage.
Okay, get out of here. You and your mixing your DC crap into Marvel, man.
Yeah, it was so early.
Yeah.
He crossed over.
But yeah, ask your DC trivia. Come at me with DC
I ain't gonna. I'm bleaking you DC trivia. But I'm gonna tell you that Man-Bull's first appearance. Do you know Manball's first appearance, Mark?
What?
Daredevil.
Daredevil. He just got it.
Daredevil stuff that I got.
He just showed it off. Like
It's Daredevil
35, right?
Because you said in it, you said in it, oh, is this his first appearance?
Yeah.
But you didn't say he was. You thought he was. So I wasn't sure if you knew for certain now.
Yeah, it's like Daredevil 35.
No, I think it's later than that. I think it's
According to the Marvel Wiki, it's Daredevil 78.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
78? That late?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And wait, who was it? Was that Bullseye?
No, Manball.
Manbull.
Oh, Manbull.
Okay.
Here's one. Mark, you can't answer this.
Okay.
Who had a hand in the creation, or who had a hand in fine-tuning the printed creation of Wonder Woman, Green Lantern? They helped get Superman published.
Mark
Sounds like a
has his hand up.
Mark knows. Mark knows. I've actually sent Mark this information. Had a hand in actually assisting to create some of these things.
Yeah. So this guy, the Superman script was being rejected twice, and it's sitting on the reject pile. And
It had actually been rejected by 18 different publishing
and
companies.
this guy picked it off the reject pile and took it and said, "We should do this."
Sure, I've heard this story before, but I can't remember.
Who is it?
Julius Schwartz?
He helped found All American Comics. He helped found DC Comics.
Gardner Fox?
Sheldon Mayer.
It's Sheldon Mayer. Yep.
I have heard
I
that
thought I
from
was supposed to not
somewhere.
say so. Okay,
Well,
I have a question linked back
I
to
know
another
first
question.
Metallo was the same as first Supergirl. Was it Action 248 or something like that?
Yeah.
Who cameos in X-Men Annual 14? Oh, Jesus, come on. That would be Gambit in 5 panels where he doesn't say a word.
Okay, who's the only MCU character to be portrayed by someone who's albino?
Portrayed as an albino, or they're
No.
an
The
albino?
character, the
Film.
character is played by an actor who's an albino. You can't really tell the character's an albino at all. But
It's not Tobias Whale because he's DC.
nope.
Well, I mean,
it's
Caliban.
not- and I thought that's who it was the first time I heard about this.
Caliban is an albino in the comics, but he wasn't played by an albino.
Correct.
He was played by Ricky Gervais's sideman, Stephen Merchant.
Okay.
So who plays an albino?
Manbull was played by an albino actor.
In what?
In
In
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Oh, I never saw it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. They have Manbull and the guy who used to be
Eligila.
well, but first he was the Matador.
Eligila.
But he was dressed more like the Matador, which was who he was in his first appearance.
The Eagle.
Right.
From Iron Fist.
Correct.
Power Man, Iron Fist.
And She-Hulk is probably the closest to the comics any of their series have come so far.
Yeah, but it laid a rotten, stinky egg.
I loved it. Shut
They
up,
jumped
man.
the rail and they screwed up the wrecking crew. They have got to come back and say they got a hold of Asgardian weaponry, but they couldn't use it. Then they better come back and power them up and get Loki involved. Because if they
that's
ship
probably going to
bed
be in the
with that,
second
that's
season. Because I have a feeling the Wrecking Crew is going to be someone to reckon with.
Yeah.
Metallo was actually 252.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I'm here all week. So
Metallo was Action 252.
So tell me, okay, Graham, tell me the name of the Green Lantern who looks like a stalk of broccoli.
Like a what?
Stalk of broccoli.
Oh.
Broccoli Man. My answer to that is I don't give a shit, but I do.
Begins with an M.
I do love the cover of Green Lantern Corps 1.
I can picture him, but I can't think of his name.
Medfill.
Medfill?
Medfill.
Medfill doesn't ring a bell.
Medfill. That's what I do every Sunday. I take out my pill caddy and I do my Medfill every Sunday.
Yep. I knew Kyle would be able to relate, but it's Medfill. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Come on now, dig out some trivia. I don't want to be asking.
Who's the Orange Birdman? Green Lantern.
Who's Orange Birdman?
Tomar.
Huh?
Tomar.
Yes, Tomar.
Oh, well done, Gray. Well done, Gray.
Who's also in the movie? Yeah, Tomar.
Yeah. Well, and so
which again, I think is a fantastic fucking movie.
I love that.
They could have done a better bad guy.
Yeah.
Once he got big, I mean, as he was going through it, it was cool. But once he got big, it was kind of cheese. But that was a really good movie.
No, I thought it was. It came out too early.
Yeah,
to be received well.
As I was jumping off YouTube and popping onto this when I pulled up the stream to get on here, you were talking about Ryan Reynolds is making a Dragon Quest movie.
Yeah,
cool. And you said you had 9 copies of that now.
I have 9 copies.
Now you have 8, right?
Yeah, he's going to gift one to all of us.
Well, so I thought I might write some of those Vampirella things, Kyle.
Yeah, but no, I hated that game, but it evokes so much fun memories at Chuck E. Cheese Pizza.
It was impossible.
I could never get past the fucking. So it appeared, or it 1983. It came out. Last year, it was university, and there was one in the University Students' Union.
Yeah.
And it was just impossible.
Yeah.
And
then you talked about Don Bluth on there and what.
You're talking about Dragon's Lair. You keep saying Dragon's Quest. You know
Dragon's Lair.
Oh well, I have a story to tell you.
Oh yeah, go. Sure.
Okay, so I was an intern that summer as a radio, television, film major, and I got to go. It was my first story as a reporter. And I got to report on the game at a place called Tiffany Billiards. And I must have spent $10 in quarters just trying to look like I knew what the fuck I was doing, pardon my French. But honestly, it was one of the hardest games. And it was so hard. It was
impossible.
It was. And then I bought the DVD version like probably 20 years ago. And I played the crap out of it, and it was a lot easier. And I don't know if it's the controls or what.
They probably made it easier for the home.
It was too sensitive on that. But yeah, that's old Don Bluth stuff. And what people really know him for was Fievel and American Tail.
That's
right.
That's it. Yeah.
And Cats Don't Dance.
Yeah, but
and Secret
Bluth is a
legend. Was his biggest hit. It was huge in 1980.
Bluth is a legend, absolute legend.
He's a little goofy, but who isn't?
Yeah, they're all goofy.
Well,
let any of them that watch this know it. Every guy we've had on here as a guest has been goofy. Every guy we're gonna have as a guest
who works in animation is goofy. We know.
Though none of them are gonna be as goofy as Tim Burton because Burton. But
Bill's pretty goofy. Don't
artists and writers are flaky.
This is Bill's sad
artists
face.
are goofy, writers are flaky. Nothing changes.
I hate and love you all at the same time.
I'm a flaky ass writer. I cast my tone from the.
You're just a flaky ass in general. You don't have to.
Hey, you want to see my flaky ass? Here you go.
No, gotta go.
I moisturize my ass, but
on that both corny and flaky.
It's the Kyle.
I've warned you about this before.
Exactly. I've got the kick out of stream button, Kyle. Just remember that.
Titties. Hey, can I show some album covers?
Sure.
I dug out the nude album covers I have to show with Master.
You dirty old man.
Oh, I didn't get my mute off in time, you dirty bastard.
I
But the
only
best
50
album
minutes.
cover, hands down, best album cover ever, Pressure Drop by Robert Palmer.
What? Are you showing some covers, Carl?
No, he's
Do you
just
wanna
saying these
see an
things off the
album
top
cover?
of his head.
Do you want to see the album cover to Pressure Drop?
Did you check out the album cover show that I did with Simple Simon? I won the very first album cover slingers on Simple Simon.
I still haven't finished watching that. Shame on me, but I'm going to lunk this inside, mute my phone for a minute, and then see how quick you cut me off of being a dirty bastard. But Candy-O by the Cars, Middleman by Boz Skaggs. Incredible
Candy-O was a
album
Vargas cover.
Yep. Candy-O was Vargas.
You're not showing them. Just go for a walk. I'll get back on the.
Let's walk with Kyle through his estate.
Come on, Bill. Show us
my bathroom.
You're not showing anything.
I forgot to flush it.
All right, here we are. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here goes Robert Palmer just standing in a hotel room.
Oh my God, I can see that girl's hair.
Nice shoes.
Yeah.
Those
And
are beautiful
the back cover
cloths.
is even better.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. I guess she needed a razor.
She needs to work on her all over tan.
Sitting right next to that. which
Mark's
is
going to
boring.
cough himself to death now.
But
Thanks, Kyle.
You want an amazing album? Here you go. There's an amazing album. What an album cover.
Barely man enough. Although we can't say that anymore. But
But, oops, oops. There you go. Best album cover ever.
Get back to that.
Best album cover ever.
Okay.
It's not bad.
It just says it all. That just says rock star. That says I'm a rock star. Fuck you. I'm putting this out.
Okay.
I could certainly raise you a few on that in the heavy metal realms.
Uh-oh. Too sexy of an album cover? Adamant.
Was that Adamant?
I thought we
Adamant.
were going to see good album cover. I mean, I loved Adamant, but the cover.
Great back cover. Oh, great back cover. Let's see.
What the hell
Great
is that?
album cover.
What is it? What is going on here?
And all
And now
seriousness,
Graham is frozen like mid-torso. What?
I know.
How
album
did this
covers
whole
do
show
not
get
get
out of
much
our-
better than this.
It's all gone surreal.
It
Album
has.
covers
What,
do
is
not
that
get
Will
much better.
Arnett? What is that? That's
the Dead
weird,
Kennedy,
dude.
Apparently.
Dead Kennedys.
Nazi punks F off.
Yeah. That's an incredible album cover.
Yes, it is.
Another one, if we're into hot chicks.
I thought that was
Martin,
some girls at first.
Comedy is
That
not
thing.
pretty. And if we don't get enough Steve Martin there, how about
Of course. Is that Let's Get Small?
that has Let's Get Small on it. Yeah, that's Let's Get Small. One to make you the cringe. Here's a couple of cringe ones.
Oh, okay.
Bow
I'm
Wow
not, I'm not
Wow.
really cringing.
She's 14.
What?
Oh, she was. No, by
14.
that time she was 16.
And then there's a great one, Violent Femmes.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
Welcome, Brother Joe. I'm not sure you should be glad you find us because we've got Kyle bending over. We could look at his arse.
Yeah. He won't stand the hell up. Oh, I do rock.
Let me show you this one.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'll show you
real,
this one.
real offensive.
All right, you can get rid of me. I'm done bending over today.
What was
This
that?
is,
Oh,
a
well,
lot
thank
more,
God.
this is a lot more hardcore than that blinking one you just showed. This is Sadness. I've censored it for
Yeah,
Why
Right,
do you have
you
one
need-
nipple blurred and the other one not?
Yeah, can
you
you?
couldn't see the other one. It was in shadow. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Let's pretend it was in shadow, shall we?
Okay,
We shall.
I
So, do you want to
prefer
see
your-
my oldest comic book?
Yes.
1919.
Very nice.
Newby. Newby.
Drinking with
I hate
father.
you, Kyle. Yeah, I love
Newby.
You are going to trigger Kyle.
What was the
That
title?
Newby.
Drinking
I
by
know. I know.
That is very nice though. So bringing up
You're-
father.
Oh, bringing
So-
up
You're all the way in the middle of the George McManus. You're in the middle of the Platinum Age. You're not even at the beginning.
I personally think they shouldn't have eaten me in the first place.
What?
Bringing up father, they shouldn't have eaten him in the first place.
Nah. So what? That's
funny.
What do you say? 19. That's volume 6, 7.
It is. Let me look and I'll tell you. Oh, there goes my phone.
Ta-da!
Dun dun dun. It is first series. It says first series.
And who is it by?
George McManus.
George McManus. It's known as Maggie and Jigs. More than bringing up father.
So speaking of Maggie and Jigs, do you want to see the Jigs Tijuana Bible from 1931?
Well,
Only
Hey,
if it
man.
doesn't
Sure,
involve
why
you
not?
walking through the house again.
No, I'm not going up there to disturb my wife. I'm just poking.
to no vertigo. Okay.
I'm
I
poking.
said yes
fun.
then.
I am not going to pull out a Tijuana Bible with Jigs and Maggie having the boom, boom, boom. So,
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I'll show this real quick. So this
and I'm not
is-
going to go get my boxes of Platinum Age comics
No.
out either. So.
Okay, so one of the spin-offs from Astro Boy by Tezuka in the beginning was Goldar. And this is a Goldar model kit.
Ooh.
And it's actually radio control, or not radio controlled, but it actually has a wire and you can drive it around. And then let me show you.
I thought it was a comic for a second.
I've not put it together
Oh, I thought it was a comic.
because I'm afraid if I put it together, I'd screw it up somehow. So, but that's from the 70s.
Oh, I like that. That's very cool.
And I love the artwork is just fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was a comic, Bill. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's a model kit. Yeah.
Yeah.
My neighbor left his car door down and birds are jumping in and out of his car. That's cracking me up. I was going to run my Vampirellas back upstairs. If you guys actually want, I'll tiptoe downstairs with a Platinum Age tub of comics if you want to see them.
Yeah, go tiptoe. Tiptoe through the platinum. Thank you. That's my Tiny Tim impression for the week. Gray
Very
looks like
tiny.
he's like about to cancel all of us.
I know.
Like, click, 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 click.
He's ready
click.
for bed.
I actually recorded one of my beer guys shows earlier today, so I've had 6 beers 2 hours ago.
Oh, you had 6 beers.
Yeah.
So I'm drinking backup beer today because I couldn't find my regular beer. Whoop, hey, Purple Haze. So I went with the B beer, as we call it, or as I call it, which is called Local Buzz.
Okay.
It's
I've had,
okay. They're both, well, the Purple Haze that's a Louisiana beer. This is a Texas beer.
Is it any good?
Hey, it's not bad. It's a golden ale. It's not bad. I will show you this. Hold on a second.
I've had all stouts and porters today.
Oh, no wonder you're feeling sleepy.
Yeah. It's like 5.5 was the lowest.
Oh,
I was a tad disappointed in the Rush golden ale,
right.
just because I love Rush.
You should have drunk it so quickly.
But it's not horrible. I mean, it really isn't. But this one is slightly better. But I don't typically
So
drink
do you have a
common
lot of
ales.
microbreweries out in Texas then, Bill?
Oh my God! Since they lifted laws about maybe 15 years, maybe 12 years ago.
Prohibition. Are they
Yeah,
finally up prohibition laws?
Yeah, basically almost. But it was stuff that the big breweries tried to keep us down or keep us, but keep the small breweries down. Now there are probably 30 different breweries
Microbreweries everywhere
small
now.
breweries in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, it's fantastic. And across the state there's thousands.
And it's really good because the main stuff is so awful in the States.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's like water, it's just so bad. Whereas those microbrewery stuff, when I go out to the States, I always try to find that microbrewery stuff because it's really good. You've got some really good.
Oh, it's fantastic. And here's the thing: my friend Joey had a place called, but still has a place called Blue Star Brewery. That one of the first ones, but he couldn't even sell his own beer at his bar that was 2.5 miles down the road.
Why?
Because of Texas laws.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you couldn't drink it anywhere but the brewery.
Only in America could he marry his 13-year-old cousin, but he couldn't sell his own beer.
Right, exactly. And well, all of our forefathers, they drank more beer than water because beer was a lot safer bet back then.
Yeah. Do you want a gun, Sonny?
Yeah.
Can I sell you a beer that I brewed? No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You selling your beer? Give me that AR-15.
You guys are so cruel. I mean, it's all true, but Well,
how close are you to Waco?
Very well. I'm about 3 hours from Waco.
Okay, not that close.
Yeah, not too bad. But it's funny because we drove through there just a few hours after that. I don't know if you heard about it, but there's a bunch of places here called Twin Peaks, which is kind of like I don't know, but it's not based on the TV series, but it's kind of like a Hooters kind of ripoff.
Okay.
And so there was a big shootout there. 9 people died in Waco, and it was with all these gangs. And they found out that the cops started it, and they did most of the killing. And so they had like 60 people in jail for it. And they all got released, and there were never any trials for anybody. This was just like 6 or 7 years. You remember that, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biker gang shootout.
Yeah. But none of the bikers killed anybody. It was all the cops.
Yeah.
I won an only time in America. I think it was 1980. I went to see the World Speedway Championships in Los Angeles. And I was drinking Coors on the coach. I was only 13 at the time. Colorado Kool-Aid, they called it, didn't they? We was drinking that on the coach. I would have been arrested and thrown in jail if I was found by the police or something.
That's the basis for Smokey and the Bandit was getting Coors over to Missouri.
Yeah, that was a big deal back then. But we typically Americans, we call Coors Mountain
still piss water. My wife drinks Coors Light, so
it's mountain piss.
Do we want to tiptoe through the ages? Do we want to tiptoe through the ages, or am I showing off too much?
Just your face is a steptoe for the ages, mate.
Yeah.
Why am I big suddenly? Damn it.
I just grabbed a couple little tubs.
I'm like,
here's a trip from the Victorian age to the Golden Age.
Robert Jones, secretly Burt Reynolds.
So, yeah, there's an 1898 pulp mystery.
Ooh. Yeah, we've seen that. That's something new.
Yeah.
Okay, let me show you me. Yeah. I'll make people nuts with this. People that don't handle their 1980s comic books. How about a 1908 Lennon comic book?
Foxy Grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
Foxy Grandpa is one of my favorites.
I just sent one of these to Australia.
Isn't that Kyle's nickname, Foxy Grandpa?
Yes.
There you go.
He's not because he's good looking. He's got loads of brown spots all over him. That's why they call him Foxy.
Yeah. The quick brown fox.
You guys are killing
dog.
me today here.
So yeah, there's the 1908 Lennon book. For Comics Curing Cancer, I just sent a 1905 Foxy Grandpa book down to Australia.
Oh, to Zars.
Sean, yeah, Zar. Has he opened it yet?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I know it's in Australia. The books are in Australia, but I don't know if Simon's got them to him yet. So I don't know. I'm showing these off. Actually, I was picking on Bill, but if that's Bill's oldest is 1919, then I need to do something about that and get him an older one.
I'm okay with that.
Here's another fun one I love to show off because
It's the pissing contest again.
it's uncut.
Oh yeah.
Is that
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's a spirit section from 1943,
Wow.
early 1943.
Wow.
Uncut. It's like
Look
a
at that
crap.
crap.
Now,
I don't mean crap in a bad way.
if I'm gonna whip out the Big Willie
Oh no.
Oh, no, Kyle.
on utter
Please, no.
technicality,
Remove from string. He's on standby, so be careful.
on utter technicality, I'm taking this out of this.
Meanwhile, he's still full
We've
screen.
discussed this. I remember the trade to
On an
Twitter
utter
about-
technicality, just for the size, this is technically the first format comic book.
So where's Big Willie then? Palmer Cox. Hubbard published in 1896.
Wow.
Palmer Cox.
But,
Format-wise.
give us a better look at that cover.
That's
Billy
picture
Brownies?
pages. Busy Brownies. It's torn right there, but Busy Brownies.
Yeah. Is Palmer
Wow,
Cox?
I've never even heard of this.
Something.
Homer Cox. There's the Brownies. This
It
is
sounds like
Wow.
a euphemism for something you shouldn't
the
be
Brownies go back to 1882, and
I didn't know that.
if anybody tries to coax me out of my 1882 Brownies, this would come with it too. Because again, technically the first format size comic.
Yeah,
book.
they appear in Dell 4 color quite a lot, the brownies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep giving those away, but I'm down to
Okay,
3.
Brother Joe's looking for the Big Willie. I think he came to the wrong podcast, but that's
We're
what happens
We're
when
going to have to
Kyle
let you
starts.
down. It's a very average sized one.
Yeah, it's just here. Let's pull out my small one. Everybody knows Big Little books, right? How about the little books?
Never heard of those. What the heck? I see Punjab featured prominently.
1934.
Right. Who signed that? Whose name is that at the top? Is that the person who owned it?
No, it's
Um,
not.
Mildred Meyer.
Yeah. Who's Mildred Myers?
So here's the set of 6 Little Orphan Annie little books from 1934
Those are awesome.
with the display box.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh hell, that's awesome.
That's a great
Promised the Big Willie and he brought out Little Annie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Bay Bar set like that.
Let's see. This is one of the St. Nicholases from 1887 that has an early Brownies appearance. And then you talked about, which again, we're going to veer into the Golden Age. You talked about the 4-color Brownies. How about issue 192 of 4-color?
Very
Oh,
nice.
that's Wally Wood, isn't it? Or is
That's
that
Walt Kelly.
or Kelly? Walt Kelly?
Walt Kelly. There's a big old Walt Kelly right there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And
I
there's
never realized how much he and Wally Wood looked alike, but they do.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's crazy.
all right. And
Are
then,
those, Kyle, are those Dell?
yeah,
Those are all
4
Dell.
colors. Dell 4 colors.
Yeah.
Then again, the name comic book came from comics that were put in books. This is one of the first comic books. The Brownies Kind Deed.
Wow. That's
From
amazing.
1898 on this one, 1901 on this one. Not very
Folks, we're not
politically
just
correct.
fun. We're historical and hysterical. Look
I'm
at
not
queer
very
people.
political.
Wow. That was really far ahead of the curve.
And I've shown these before, but I mean,
Only by
they're
about
here.
80 years.
Yeah.
They're here. So how
That's
about
wonderful, though.
the first two Whitman comics from
Ain't it a grand and glorious feeling?
1922? Whitman's first two comics from 1922.
Those are brilliant.
Again, Platinum Age.
Wow.
Then going back to brownies again, here's an 1885 St. Nicholas with an early brownie.
Hey, did you notice on that cover he was holding a gold key on that Whitman? I'm kidding. Sorry,
Yeah.
don't go back and look. I was joking.
But
That was a Whitman.
Teddy Toodles, the 1915 linen book from Sellafield. Teddy Toodles. Then we got a 1943 regular fellas in the army.
Did they really let him join, though? I think that's a misnomer.
I've given away so many of these, I never know which is where. Now, here's the first appearance of Little Orphan Annie from 1926.
Wow, with that stupid doll.
And again, comic book. Oh, let's see. There's Moon Mullins Series 2. This is from 1928. And this, if John Bishop is watching, he's going to come out of his skin. Because John Bishop loves to collect store labels, store tags, and things like that.
Hey, is that for
a
the same publisher as
1928
this?
store sticker?
Oh,
this is newer than that, or this is 28. Yours is 19. Yours is older.
Yeah, but doesn't it look like the same?
it does.
It's the same thing. It's the same publishing company and everything.
Oh, okay. That's what that's all I was
But
saying.
look at that. A store stamp from
Oh my gosh,
1928.
that's crazy.
A 1928 store stamp.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Oh, let's see. George McManus. Oh, look, you do got me beat. Wait. What year did you say that?
1919.
Hold that up again.
It's the first one.
Well, if it says first series, that's supposed to be 1917.
Oh, wow.
Because 1919 is 3.
That's interesting.
That should be 1917. You may have a later print if that's the case.
Or maybe it came out in 1919.
But no, it came out in 17. These were annuals.
Oh, I got
See,
that.
there's 1925 for Series 9. These came out as annuals. I'm pretty sure that says 17. It's just inked over funny. I'm pretty sure yours says 1917. I don't have older bringing up fathers. When you said you got number 1, I'm like, well, you got me there. But I got you with the older books. Now, that's my little box. Let me put these back in place here so I can get to the other box. The other tub of oversized, undersized. Can't go into... I don't know if I have my 1895 yearbooks out here. I don't even know which is in this particular box. But, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This one will look awful familiar to somebody on the panel. Look, I'm just snuggling and loving this one. Oh, my goodness. What a wonderful, beautiful thing I have here, Mark. Oh, my goodness. Look
Is
at
that from Mark?
He's not watching.
my 1842 to go with my stacks of other punches and my letter from Mark. Now, this is where I whip out the big
I'm gonna finish up on 2 hours, guys, because I've got to have some food and go to bed.
1911, the first Mutt and Jeff.
Kyle, we're winding up. We're going to go, mate.
Do you guys?
I got three more things to go. They're here. I got 3 more things to go. The Brownies 1895 yearbook. I think there's only 3 more things in here.
Do you guys?
The Girl Who Loves the Swastika original book from 31. But I wanted to show this to Mark.
I think Kyle's Mutt and Jeff, didn't you, Mark?
1905.
Okay, you beat my ass.
But that's 1905.
So, but do you have Star Wars coins?
My favorite. If I'm going to end on
these
platinum,
last
I'm going to
weeks.
end on that.
Do you have Star Wars
1917.
coins? I
Nope.
ask you. No, you don't. So
1917.
you can't get shit in most eyes.
Yeah. I wanted to end on that. I got
have
more to
Star
go
Wars
in there,
now.
but I wanted to end
might
on
just
Star
leave it
Wars.
running, Mark, and let these two guys fight each other all
I
night.
know. The thing I love about Americans is they're so competitive, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you show a comic, they can't just go, "Oh, that's really cool. That's really nice." They have to go.
I told you.
Yes,
the reason I
you
went and
have-
got those
I've
is
got a
because
Star Wars credits.
Yeah. So
They were
what I
kids.
liked about Bill was that he completely changed the subject and he'd go, "Have you got a Star Wars?" And, you know, so.
But like I said, the reason I went and got that is because if Bill's oldest is 1919.
I knew he'd set you off. He always sets you off.
So I want to do something
It's
about
always a pissing contest.
I want to get him an
Bill.
older one. When I went and got him, I wanted to show him off and go, Bill, one of these will be yours one day.
Yay!
Guys, we will get the tape measure out next week to make sure.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
No. Stop.
Everything's bigger in Texas. I
Okay,
was just
that's
saying.
true. That's true.
Right.
Tall tale, folks.
So, my only question, do you guys use Mutt and Jeff as slang in America?
Do you
That's
use
where
what?
that comes from.
Mutt and Jeff as slang.
For death.
I've never heard of that.
That's where the term comes from.
Mutt and Jeff.
That was a British guy that created it. Your Mutt and Jeff slang is literally.
Oh,
the
Mutt and
slang
Jeff.
phrase.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just didn't hear correctly. Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's British, isn't it, Kyle?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've no
Yeah.
idea.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'm asking. Never really seen the comics. I know you see me say Mutt and Jeff for death in here, but I don't know if you used it for death as well in America.
Right. Oh, well, I just demonstrated that. But after you, my dear Alphonse, was
Or
also
1910, I mean.
an early comic strip and had a lot of British slang in it.
Oh, like Alphonse and Gaston that I
Yeah.
didn't pull out that I have postcards from 1902 and stuff like that. But
Oh my God, dude! Will you quit it? You won.
1910.
No one
Damn
likes to
it.
show off.
1910, Mutt and Jeff issue 1.
Star Wars
First appearance.
coins.
Vampirella books from the 70s.
First appearance of Mutt and Jeff right there. This is
I've got
The
a
first
first
appearance.
Tale 20.
the first appearance of Mutt and Jeff right there. You want to know what the first appearance of Mutt and Jeff is? It's
Even these
right there,
little ones.
right on the cover.
I'm going to end the broadcast, guys. Thanks for coming.
Guys, have a great night.
Actually,
That
one
was
more
the
thing,
fun
one more
pin
thing.
contest.
One more thing.
Later.
Mark, do you want to do cover slingers on Saturday?
I can't, mate. I've got to cook. I'm doing a.
No worries.
We got
Bill.
Neighbours round, and I'm going to cook a vegetarian.
No worries. I'll get someone else.
Bill,
Yeah, sorry. I
Yeah.
would love to do it.
have you ever done a cover slingers, Bill? See you, man.
Cover sling? No.
Bill will do it.